So it was the middle of my junior year. I was so over-involved. One of the leads in a production of the Misanthrope, choreographing for BodyHype, just got done directing Vampire Lesbians of Sodom on team. So I was so over-involved that I started a major term paper at midnight that was due at 9 the next morning. I came up with a solid thesis for the paper, and then I went to support it by finding books and was like, this supports what I'm saying, this supports what I'm saying, this supports what I'm saying. I did not cite sources, I threw chunks of book in, and I just turned it in. I got suspended for a year for plagiarism. At the end of the honor committee, I went home. I had just found out that I was going to be suspended for a year. I cried, and I got into my running clothes, I went running down to the lake, and I had a legitimate epiphany. I realized that there was nothing that could stop me, that here was something that an Ivy League university was throwing at me, and this is one of their worst punishments possible, and I was going to turn it into something very real and something very positive. And that is something that I truly believe about life in general, is that there is no such thing as bad, there is simply perspective. Which is why this tattoo is on my arm, which is the Chinese word for crisis, and crisis is made up of danger and opportunity. And I really believe that within every crisis lies opportunity. I went home, I cried. The next morning, I had just happened to have a Whitehouse intern application that I had asked for several months prior, had been sitting on my desk. I was going to apply for a summer internship. Well, why don't I turn it in and try to apply for now the winter internship instead? Not only did I get accepted, but a top speechwriter for the president named Jason Solomon found my internship application, liked my educational policy analysis, and called me up and said, I'd like you to come work for me in the healthcare war room. I arrived at the White House of Clinton 3 days prior to him announcing at his State of the Union address that he was going to be fighting for universal healthcare. I then spent the next 6 months watching the president speak words that I had written. There's nothing more amazing than being able to predict what President Clinton's just about to say because you helped write it.